No, look, we wanted, naturally you'd want more. And maybe, Iman, if you don't mind, given that everyone is here, maybe let me just go through our full stall and then talk a bit about how we view the elections and what we thought, what we felt we needed to do. So let me set out in many ways. The first starting point is that when we started BOSA, we wanted to engage communities. And when I look at the election board all across the country, we've got votes all across provinces. And now the work that we've got to do is to ensure that, firstly, that we begin to enhance and grow that support. The second thing is we have parliamentary representation, and that will be determined in a bit as to how many seats that looks like. So that's a very important step. I think we've put a foothold here in Gauteng. That's also a very, very deliberate and an intentional thing. This was an election like no other. So in many ways, one of the difficulties that have taken place in this election is the fact that you've got, if you like, ethnic mobilization that has taken place, in the sense that you've got growth of, if you like, MK, Zulu nationalism, you've got, in some ways, PA, you've got all of that took place, which makes this election a very difficult one. But we feel in a country that is polarizing, that is moving in that direction, we need to restore the space of holding the center. And so in these elections, sure, we could sit back and say, did the center do well? Did it make the right traction? That's a good question, and we've got to build it.
Before, there's a lot of journalists here and I don't want to hog the mic, so two quick things before I allow everyone else to have the opportunity, Musi, is number one, did anyone give you a call? I mean, have you been talking to anyone? Got to know that. But number two, this ethnic mobilization thing is concerning. When Gwede Mantashe said the other day, you know, he talked about Zulu tribalism, for example, and creating and, kind of amplifying those schisms in South African society. It didn't go down very well with a lot of people. And it sounds like you're kind of reiterating a similar message. So just clarify for us what you mean by ethnic mobilization.
What I'm saying is that if you look at variants of the ANC, so MK, ANC, EFF, these are parties of similar. 2/3 of South Africans are just there under voted for those parties. And each of those parties are moving to the extreme left or to the left progressively. The center has been left open. The center of a multiracial society. The center of economic policy that is mixed. That has been left. And so my job now is to build that. That's really what I mean. And I think that's important. It's an important job in a country where I have to ask myself, given that if BOSA wasn't on the ballot, who would I be voting for? And therefore, we have to put BOSA on the ballot for South Africans like myself who want to see a multiracial society, who want to see a mixed economy, who want to see the center being built, who want to see communities being empowered.
Has the phone been ringing?
My phone's always ringing. But look, at the same time as that, yeah, sure, let me leave it at that. I think my phone has the most...
Who's been calling?
My focus now, Iman, is to really build BOSA. We will look out to see what the coalition formations look like. I am not, as I said to you even at the start, our only demands are straightforward. Let's fix Eskom. Let's make sure that South Africans have a job. We've got to not think in politics. We've got to think for the 60 million South Africans. So my response and call to people is that let's get all the leaders of the parties in parliament. Let's have an adult conversation rather than a political conversation.